Hey, I hope you guys are doing well. In this video, we're going to be looking at Apple, and we're going to dive through the chart, looking at the long term, and then really focusing on the more near or short-term trading to get an idea of where Apple is going as the NASDAQ continues to push and make new all-time highs. Now, before we dive into the chart, if I earn your thumbs up through the video, please hit that like button by the end, and that really gives me a good feeling on the inside and helps me to keep making these videos if I know that you guys are out there watch them. So with that, let's go ahead and dive on into this chart. Now, a lot of people have been saying that, the top 5 tech companies in the NASDAQ are really leading the way for the rest of the market, and it's kind of becoming a top-heavy market. That would be Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook. So a lot of people are thinking, during this time of craziness going on, that people are wanting to put their money into a safe haven asset such as one of these 5 companies, and it has really just driven these stock prices to crazy levels. Now, while there may be some truth in that, you still have to bear with the market. It may be way out of line at times, but you still need to look at it and look for the opportunities where you can make money, whether you're a long-term trader or a short-term trader. So starting out on the screen, let's go ahead and throw up the weekly chart, and this will kind of give us an idea of what we have been seeing over the past couple years, these downturns that we've seen, followed by rapid accelerations back up to the upside. So really throughout the majority of 2019, we bottomed out down here around 140. Then we came back and we set a new higher low on a long-term standpoint up here around 175, and then we just ripped and ripped and ripped, and it wasn't until the beginning stages of this year where we really saw that decline, and we bounced right around the top of 2018, which was right around $225 a share. Now, ever since setting that platform for this absolute rocket ship to the upside, we have seen little to no resistance, even as we were making it past this 325 mark. You can see we had 1 week where we sat there, and then the next week following, we really pushed through. So long term, every time that we see one of these big dips, a lot of investors, and my guess is a lot of new investors who realize that Apple is a very good company, they take their money, they see it as an opportunity, and they just throw it in. And more people are piling more and more money into this stock, raising its price level. Now, is this a fair valuation up around $400 a share? I'm not really sure. Time will tell. But nonetheless, we can look at the NASDAQ and see the same thing. It has just cruised right on past these early 2020 highs, and it is pushing higher. Now, if we move in here on Apple to the more recent trading, I want to move into that hourly chart. We can start to see a little bit more into what Apple is doing as we are approaching the $400 price point. And while I think in due time we will end up cracking through said price point, I want to point a couple things out. We were trending along very nicely and pretty steadily. It was pretty consistent right here after we bounced off about $355 a share. Now, once we bounced from 355, we cruised and cruised and cruised, and then we hit up here around $385 a share. From there, we saw a bit of a top, and we bounced right in here around $380. And that's important because as we made this quick run to the upside, as we broke through 385, and we pushed all the way up to 399. Now, I think that this was driven largely in part to greed. I think that people saw this starting to run towards 400, a big milestone, and they were just throwing their money at it, hoping that it would push towards and through $400 a share. And we came up short. We came up 18 cents short during the day, and we sold down. Look at this massive sell to the downside. I'm moving in a little bit closer for you guys, but look at that. We pulled so far back after hitting $3.99 and 82 cents. We then dipped below the opening price, and then we dipped and went red on the day. The next day, being Tuesday, was kind of shaky. Once again, we dipped below that 380 price point. And then as we went into the close and after hours, we rallied back up. But then today, again, we were very shaky. We were not able to push back up towards 399. In fact, we didn't even make it up to 398 pre-market, and then we sold off in the morning. We were able to bounce down here around 386, which was a good sign, and we closed out the day above those lows. But nonetheless, it was still a relatively weak day in my opinion. Now, as I said before, I think that this rally is now largely driven by greed. People are thinking that these tech companies are going to be the safe haven and that they are less affected due to the COVID-19 wreaking havoc on our markets. And while there may be some truth in that, I think you still need to be smart with your trading. And while this could continue to go to the upside, notice that there are some levels, so around 386 and then 380, where there are some support. And if we continue to make lower highs and then lower lows, that would be a good indication that we are going to continue that downward trend. And then if we look at the bigger picture, if we start to break down some of these longer upward moving trends and we start to break through some of these moving averages, then it might be time to take some of those profits off of the table if you did get in during those March and April lows. So that is just my opinion on the stock. If you guys enjoyed the video, once again, please leave a like or leave a subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one.